That's really sad. In addition to the fantastic artist David Rowe, can you please welcome to the stage Iona Kennedy and Mark Knight. And now it looks like I've done this drawing. It's very good. Great. And do we have our customary microphone carrier? There he is. He's all ready.
I'll do both. I've got multiple ranges.
Okay. So, does anyone have any questions for our guests?
Great. Well,
that's twice today. Twice. And not only that. At the end of the session, every single person has got a question.
Oh, Abby's got his hand up.
Who?
Abby, where are you? Yeah, I knew it. Abby said, I've got a question. I'll see you in the last session. He's in the bar. It's like this. I don't know who he is. He said, I'm Abby. I've got a question.
We could just pick on a random member of the audience and make them ask you a question.
There's one.
Oh, there is one. Okay.
There's one. Didn't I try and stick my tongue in your ear as Lord Fear earlier? Your ear, I said.
Probably.
He does have you down there, Mark.
In
probably.
the photo room, you know.
Do you have a favourite CGI'd creature that kind of, when it came on screen, or you knew it was going to come on screen, you had a little smile on your face, like the spider or the little, what were they called? The pukas or something.
All of
like
us?
that. Yes.
Okay. My favourite CGI character was, what would you like me to say?
I like the Cavern White.
The Cavern White? No, I didn't like that one.
Well, the ones that Lord Fear are famous
Scorpion.
for, you'd have the Fright Knights and the Skeletrons.
Yeah, didn't like those. Any more? The Brolican? No, didn't like that. Any more? Any others? Can anyone think of one?
I'm noticing a pattern.
A puka.
A puka? No, didn't he miss his train home last night? And he asked me, he said, I've got to get home to my mum, and I had to announce, dressed as Lord Fear.
For anyone that doesn't know,
say to everybody, can somebody look after, what's your name? Puka.
There is a slight in-joke here. Puka is the name of someone on the Nightmare community forums, and he's quite well known.
So Puka missed his train, was very sad, standing next to Lord Fear, wrong place to be, and said, I can't get home. And I said, well, I'm not taking you. But I did ask the community to help him, and everybody, stepped forward and said, me neither. Don't do that again. But the Puka, no, I didn't like that one. Brolican. I like the Brolican because I don't know why. It was Anthony. What was Anthony's last name?
Donovan.
Anthony Donovan. And he went, I hunger. Was that the Brolican? I hunger.
Don't be
Give me an
horrible.
answer. No, I liked him. I thought it was great because he was just the same in the dressing room. He was sitting there. Exhausted, poor love, after dressing up, because that was him there. They stuck him on the wall and just made his face look. I thought, well, no wonder, covered in makeup, hanging on the wall for hours. I like the product.
David, do you have a favourite creature at all?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess I
I
suppose.
did say like the Cavern
Oh, the Cavern Whites, and
it went on to be a game cover. So.
Iona, there was Citrus's cat.
Yes, I was going to say that. We think the same.
We do.
I was going to say the cat.
I've just ruined that, really, haven't I?
I know, thank you. I love the cat. Meow.
Did you actually get to meet the cat?
No.
No.
I saw the cat, even if I didn't see the cat. I always was with the cat.
There's comedy potential there, Mark, that I'm going to cut you off and ask you.
There's no comedy potential.
Another question quickly. Very quickly.
There's a question in the front.
Oh, there is. Oh no.
Question in the front.
He's taken his own initiative. You would sort of stamp that out.
I've already tortured poor Hugo and Cliff with this question, so this is for Mark and Iona. If there was to be a Nightmare the Musical, who would you get to play you and why, or would you do it yourself?
Bloody we'll do it ourselves, wouldn't we?
I believe the crowd.
I played a Lord Fear character in a pantomime once or a couple of times. I can't remember. Too many shows, too little memory. And it wasn't really Lord Fear, it was Ebenezer, I think, in one pantomime, and I had to do the song as it was Elvis doing If You're Looking for Trouble, which is particularly good for Lord Fear. So yeah, I'd love to do it myself, you know. Thank you very much.
Yes, I'd probably want to do it myself, but if they said no, I'd probably get someone like Kylie. Someone like that. That would be me.
Somebody who sort of dances around in her underwear a lot. I think that's a good
Yeah,
choice.
I would get that. I'd have that.
So in that
Actually,
case...
I do it myself. I'd rather do that myself.
yeah, but if I
actually.
couldn't do it myself, that's a good idea. If I couldn't do it myself, I'd get somebody who would, someone like who would pay me half what they were getting paid. And I wouldn't care who it was as long as they would give me the money. And I'd endorse them and offer them sexual favours. Not from
He
me,
said
from
the
my
DVD.
owner, is what I mean.
And let's move on again very quickly from
I
that.
would if I were
There
you.
was a question right here.
Question for Lord Fear and Sidris. Lord Fear, who was your favourite sidekick? And for Sidris, what was Sidris' Dixie's moment?
Well, my favourite sidekick during the show was, of course, Lissard, because he made me look good on screen, but backstage made me even better by telling me to shut up and learn the lines. So thank you, Cliff, my mate. And my favourite sidekick off stage, there were two. One was Sidris last night as the co-host on Late Night with Lord Fear, and secondly was Robin, who was the complete idiot who actually ran the show backstage. But whenever I called him during the show, would go, "I'm sorry to look shit," and be a complete imbecile. But I'm serious, he ran the show. He had the clipboard, he had all the knowledge, he got everything together, and I just walked around barking at people. It was basically a barking man.
I don't know if you remember that scene when I had the makeup and I made myself ugly with the magic, and then I did the spots. I was trying to do a beauty spell that went all wrong, and I was really upset, and I think perhaps that is probably quite true to life. Obviously I don't have spots, but what I'm saying is I thought that would be the one that I would have thought I probably was the most ditzy in, if that's all right. In other words, she wants to be beautiful, but she's made herself spotty, and then she gets, like if you put the wrong makeup on.
I always think it's difficult to choose your most ditzy moment because
I've got one.
the next one's coming up any minute.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Or on the boat, rowing. Have you seen that one?
You were a terrible rower.
I know! I got really much. It's a real boat. You go on a real boat. It's not a made-up boat. I mean, you're not on the water, but you're in the boat and you're rowing. Or you're trying to row.
And you just saw the best bits on screen. When she was doing, oh, it fell out.
Yes, and then, you're trying to, dock it or whatever.
Oh yeah, docket, definitely, yeah.
You're trying to get it to go on the ground.
And Tim never got that. You were sitting there going, do it again. But he never went, look, idiots, get in the boat. No, he never did. He was
And you'd
always
have a
saying-
dungeoneer with you, and they would be, you're protecting them and taking them on the water. And hopefully you're going to get there.
Should we take another question? Very hard to see people. Oh, there's some at the back there.
I know, because the lights are down.
Lighting people, turn the lights up. We don't hide the audience. We want to know who they are.
Oh, there are
Thank you.
several of
A
them.
little bit more. Go on, tweak it.
No, I think that's it.
Is that it? I'll buy you a pint. I'll buy you two.
This is a question for all of you. If you had to play a part, whether that's on stage or backstage, apart from the one that you already play, what would you most like to do and why?
Do you mean a character in the show?
A character or like a cameraman or artist or whatever.
Other than be in front of people
other
and being
than being
famous.
the part that you already play.
Okay. Go on.
Oh, I would, oh, I don't know. I would have liked to have been, well, I was a sort of queen. I'd have liked to have been able to boss Lord Fear around, you know, a character like that. And I think I would have done it really well.
I was happy with being behind the scenes, doing what I did, and letting all them take the glory.
Yes, I probably would have run it technically, and I think I would have done a good job.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have liked to have been busy, but I do. Actually, I do. I write and produce as well. So I quite like that stuff. But I also like being on stage as well and on screen. So I'd like to do it all. But we being on screen, we would look like dipsticks without this man's artwork, wouldn't we? So, you know, it's a good job there was somebody who could do that stuff.
You're in a room that's completely blue.
Yeah, you're in a room that's completely blue, and there's somebody who's supposed to be small, but they're the same size as you. And I can't see any clothes on it. Walk forward. What are you going to do? I would like to have played more of Arwak and Rothbury. I'd like to play scenes with all three of them in one, so I'm playing with myself.
Moving on again.
Why is that funny? I don't know why that's funny.
I'm going to take the life in the hands here and ask an in-character question for our favourite Lord Fear, Mark. How many times has the back wall of your chamber been destroyed from you throwing fireballs at spying teams, and which poor minion has to clear up the mess?
I don't really care. As long as there's a minion, there will always be clearing up. I don't care. But if you were there, I'd make you do it. And while it's Snowcat, isn't it? You were on the team last night, weren't you? And I killed you, didn't I? Good. Well, what I would do is I would make you clean it up. And while you were bending over, picking up some of the mess.
Moving on. I'm noticing a pattern.
There would have been a fireball ready, is what I'm saying.
Tim, any suggestions on how to deal with this would be... could we have another question? Really none?
Yes.
There's one. It's David Goldstein. Oh no, is this going to be about... This is not about the shortcut. It's not about
David,
the shortcut.
can I suggest you ignore Alan? I know it's difficult to do, but try and talk to me.
Okay, first of all, a question for the audience. Show of hands, please. Who has ever had a dream about nightmare or a nightmare about nightmare?
Ooh.
And now, same question to the panel.
Oh no, there was, yeah, I remember when Tim first emailed me that, you know, you'll be, we might like you to come back if you're cheap enough and you do what you're told and learn your lines. That's, I'm, making that up about the email. But, and I think I did wake up from a dream where it was hugely successful. Tim was like a major Hollywood mogul by then, and there was a whole franchise of Nightmare. And I was in a gutter somewhere going, the bastard, I wish he'd asked me again. That was in my nightmare, I think. That's what it was. Or maybe I just made that up, I don't know.
What I would say is that when you first will do it, because it is quite challenging. I thought, the night before the first team in Series 6, I had a really sleepless night. That was a nightmare, worrying, would I be able to cope with the Dungeoneers, or what if they say something completely different? It's just you learn by doing it, not by rehearsing galore, the week before and thinking of all the possibilities. You have to just be there on the spot. You've got to, or certain things you've got to do, certain things you've got to say if they react. So to be honest, and then once you've got used to it, it's fine and you've learned it. There's no way of, in a way, rehearsing that. You've got to listen, and you've got to listen to other actors, and obviously listen to Tim, watch the show, and really think about it. But, obviously I was quite nervous, and you have to trust in what advice you've been given, and not trust to yourself that you're cope. But I did think, oh my God, just as it started, because it's a live show. You know, it's filmed as a live show. So it's not like other drama that I had done before, where you can, you know, stop and rehearse and do a few takes. Or a play, well, when you're rehearsing on stage, when you actually then do it, you know, sometimes an audience laughs at something, sometimes they don't laugh or whatever, but you've basically got a pattern and you know what you're doing. You don't have that. So the adrenaline is a very high adrenaline rush, to be honest. I mean, that makes it brilliant, but also the tension, isn't it? You know, so it can be brilliant. And also you can have a nightmare yourself.
I had a nightmare that I put all the prints available online in 2012, and to date no one's actually bought one online. Oh, hang on, that's actually what happened.
What's the web address you'd like people to go to?
It's
Yes.
www.davidrowe.net.
And he has online books as well, so, you know, do try and download if you like.
Coming to you from a David Rowe near you. Thank you.
Of course, on the DVD, we can make a little URL appear at the bottom here, can't we?
You will.
I will.
You will, of course, that's what you will do.
Another question. Really? Come on, Keith.
Okay, go.
Hello.
Hello.
So, I've probably asked this before to you, but I don't think anyone else is actually paying attention at the time. How do you feel when you come across people cosplaying as your characters, or have you even seen any?
You mean walking up to me going, hello, I'm Lord Fear, sort of thing?
Yeah, kind of attempting to get an outfit together, probably failing.
It's never happened to me on the street or anywhere else. I'm in another country where if you say nightmare, they go, no, it's fine. I say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. But here, occasionally, people will walk up to me at like the convention or whatever and say, oh, I dress up as you. I'm Lord Fear. I play you. I'm not as good as you, but you know, I'm taller and better looking, but not as good as you. And they do this, and I just go, oh, it's lovely. Because what do I know? I haven't seen them do it, and it's interesting to hear their stories. The only experience I've had of coming across people playing my character or characters and other people is the audio versions that people do online. The forum have people who do sort of like radio versions of it.
And Nightmare Live, of course.
And Nightmare Live, that was my first time seeing somebody. But I knew about that, I was prepped, because I heard about Nightmare Live during Geek Week, I think, the first time I heard about it. And Tom Bell is the bomb. He's brilliant. And he's taller than me, younger, and better looking. Aside from that, he's got nothing. Oh, and more talented, but aside from that, nothing. He's really good. So I like it when Tom Bell comes up to me and does it. It's great. I can just sit there and go, go on, son. Right, no laugh out of them. I love it. So yeah. Keep doing it, yeah? Dress up. Be mean. Or crazy.
Or nice.
Or nice.
Or nice.
Or be nice. Be nice.
Or friendly.
Or friendly. That'd be nice. That'd be lovely. Be our walk. You know. Get, you
Order a meal.
Get,
you know.
Get English Asian people coming up to you going, that's bloody offensive. That'll be fun. I'll never do our walk, I tell you. I'm not going out doing our walk. You know, hello, is that on me? Shut up, sorry. Rothbury I could do. That'd be fun, you know. Not sure I could get away with it. I could do Sylvester Haynes, yeah.
He's good like that. You know what I mean?
Hello, your lordship.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh. Paul Sylvester had in the dressing room, really, really funny. He'd be there all done up, matted hair, you know, crap all over him, and he'd go, take 2 shampoos into the shower. No, I'll just wash and go. So funny. We wanted to make an advert for, you know, washing. It's got a shampoo and a conditioner. Look, run your fingers through that. Oh, I can't get them out. You know, it was funny as everything. I like to be him, because you don't have to shower or anything. You know.
For the whole time, you know,
Yeah,
the whole time we're
great.
doing it.
Yeah, Paul, he stank by the end of the shoot. but it was still fun.
Let's have another question, please. Oh, I'm back.
Run, Keith, run.
Yeah. If anybody else wants in, just let them know. Into David, but obviously open to everyone else. In the early seasons of Nightmare, Merlin had his kind of library throne room, or the open area that had the steps to go across. If Lord Fear or Sidrus had been in the dungeon at that time, what rooms do you think they would have called their kind of home? What would have been their home room that they would most likely have appeared in?
I did a Lord Fear room, which came later, and reappeared in Geek Week. Is that what you mean?
That kind of thing. I'm thinking kind of hypothetical, the opening seasons that you painted rather than the ones that were computerised later on.
David did a painted Lord Fear room. It was the very first time you saw Lord Fear.
Yeah, I think it's
Known as Mount Fear.
Mount
Oh.
Fear, yeah.
My apologies.
It was probably one of the last ones I did, I think. Yeah.
My apologies, I've forgotten that one was.
That's right.
That was with the DS in the middle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How's about for Sidrus though? Because by the time Sidrus had appeared, we'd moved to the video and the CGI.
So what would you do for me? David?
That's the nicest thing you said to me.
I think that's a discussion for the bar, don't we? This is the two of you.
Moving on.
I think if someone's got another question.
I'll ask one, if I may.
Oh, go on then, Keith.
Why not? So the three of you have had long, successful careers aside from Nightmare. So what's the favourite project that each of you have worked on other than Nightmare?
One I liked was probably making the computer game Spirit of Speed 1937. Wasn't that well programmed, and it ran really slowly, and it died.
It looked great, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you. But I just had sort of vision came into my head on a car journey of these guys in 1937 with a metre wide steering wheel, thin leather helmets, and sat with shirt sleeves. Most of them were killed because it was really dangerous sport then, unlike now. And to have all those really old machines with ex-aircraft engines in them just bolted to an iron girder. I just thought it was fascinating, real heroes of the time, so to actually see that come out as a game was quite thrilling.
I'm going to say this other children's programme I did, but it was for much younger children. It was called Brum, with a little car, yeah. I was Mrs. Posh in that, and you always see me dancing at the beginning, and at the end actually. But I had a different hair, like a black bob in that. And that was really good fun. And we filmed that in Birmingham, all around Birmingham. And
It was good, it was called Brum if it was full.
well, no, because of the car, Brum. And it's Broom, it was Fielding Broom, yeah.
I was really lucky.
Yeah.
The name of that, and it was
But
brilliant.
we use a real set, sometimes I'd be blown up or whatever, and people, and you'd have to wander around Birmingham.
Actually blown up or like
No,
in
in one of the episodes, there was a snowball as well. But I was, a bit silly in that actually, with the car. So that was good. Yeah, there is a bit of a pattern. But anyway, but funnily enough, when I was doing that, people used to be talking to me about Nightmare because it was after Nightmare. So they would always ask me about Nightmare when I was doing that.
My favourite project, oh no, it's too many. Most recently, I've been co-producing on the Philadelphia Fringe with a mate of mine. I'm also a playwright, so I put on a couple of my plays and you playwrights things. We've cast them and got critical success. And I did a play. Our first production was it was me playing a really dangerous, shambolic Shakespearean actor, which of course I am, because I worked at the Globe for years, and this man was some bipolar, manic, depressive, drunken git who decided to play Richard III, so you couldn't tell how bad he was, because Richard III is a mad son of a bitch anyway. And this man just slept with the ingenues and just did bad things, and eventually I think fell off the stage and couldn't do it anymore. So it was quite funny, a lot funnier than Shakespeare is sometimes anyway. that was one of my favourites, and the other one is just generally doing lots of theatre in Philadelphia. It's busy, it's big there, it's really good. That's cool.
I think we've got time for a last question. Oh, someone straight off, thank you.
Hi, I suppose this one's more for Mark. What was it like doing the Geek Week episode?
It was wonderful. I got to come here, where I hadn't been for ages, and it was exactly the same. I was a little bit heavier, and it was good to see Cliff and Tim, and just to fall back into the old roles. And my mate, who played Sylvester the Jester, Nick Collett, was there, and I worked with him on Hamlet and other things, and I think on Time Busters briefly. We worked together. It was great. It was absolutely wonderful, and to meet the stars of YouTube, who I've since watched their stuff, and I follow them on YouTube, on Twitter, and all that, and they're some brilliant stuff. Dan is not on fire. Oh yes, he is. And the amazing Phil, yeah, it's bloody amazing. I love him. And Ashens does all that cool stuff. It's really cool. So it's great to be introduced to them and think, ooh yeah, new stuff. Love it. That's great.
And do the three of you have any messages to the Nightmare fans as sort of closing words?
Yeah.
What are they?
Yeah, keep doing that then. Let's do this again, shall we?
Yeah, great. I agree with
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
I love you all, and let's hope we can meet again
Yeah.
sometime.
And thank you, Tim, for making Nightmare.
Yes.
Let's do it again,
Well done,
shall we?
Tim.
Yes, and thank Alan as well for organising.
Yeah, Alan Boyd, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, Alan.
And the crew as well.
Oh, one last thing to you, the fans of the convention crew, and just one of many, he's first among equals, you might say. This is the signed convention crew t-shirt. It is a one of a kind. There's nobody else has got one like this. And it's also got the cast who were here, made appearances, got Tim Child on it as well. So we have taken a very, very nice digital picture of this. So if you want, you just go on to the Twitter feed at NightmareCon or Nightmare. It's just Nightmare. That's the Twitter, but the URL is nightmare.com.
Nightmare.com or nightmareconvention.com.
Or nightmareconvention.com, or Lord Fear's Twitter feed at Lord Fear is back, and just ask for a picture, and we will send it to you. I'll probably post it on the Twitter feed as well, so you can print it, do what you like with it, just to remind you, you was here. Okay, so there you go. That's for you, boys and girls.
Well, thank you very much to all of the guests.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, well, this is the end of the convention, I'm afraid. Sorry. All good things have to come to an end. First of all, I said this at the start of the convention when we opened yesterday. Some of you weren't there for this, but thank you very much to everyone that's come along and helped out. In particular, thank you to everyone that contributed during our fundraising campaign. Had that not been successful, and there was a very long period of time where we didn't think it was going to be successful. there was a very short period of time where it was successful. None of this would have happened, so thank you very, very much to everyone that contributed during that. I have to give a massive, massive thanks to the entire Nightmare Convention crew, which are all listed on this.
Read them out.
Yes, I should, but I'm terrified. I'm going to forget. I'm going to forget someone.
Who's a speed reader? Go. Good.
We've got Billy here in the front. We have Robin and Keith, who's been our mic holder for the session. We've got Aaron at the back, who's been doing our fantastic photography. We've got Matt there, our expert photographer. I'm terrified. We've got Misha, who's been along and given us convention expertise. Who are you pointing at? David Goldstein, I couldn't see you hiding there. Our backwards and forwards mic runner for all of yesterday. And bugger, I bet I've missed someone. No, that's Forrester. Aaron.
Aaron Parker. Who signed this that wasn't on the cover?
Tell me I haven't missed someone, or I'm going to feel really bad. Oh, Grant. Oh, he's not here though, so that's okay. Grant, who has been also absolutely fantastic, our merchandise and front of house expert, and we're going to edit that on the DVD, I hope.
We're going to edit that. You're not a slacker.
No, he's not. He unfortunately had to leave early. So thanks to all of them. They've been absolutely fantastic. We had an unfortunate number of dropouts in our crew this week. So all of those guys have given a massive amount of support and have had to basically be two people for a great deal of this event. So thank you very much to all of them. Obviously a great deal of thanks to all of our guests, Mark, David, Iona, also Hugo sitting at the back there, Tim and Cliff. Is Cliff around?
Cliff? Oh yeah, there was a bottle of wine to finish in the dressing room. Yeah.
Oh, Cliff is here.
Yeah.
Cliff, come on.
Yeah.
Come over, come and wave hello.
Thanks for clearing out the fridge with a cold wine, it'll go off.
Hello.
He's good.
Well, of course, the final person I have to thank, of course... Oh, sorry, Epic Studios, thank you very much for hosting us. You have been gods and had a massive amount of patience. So thank you very much. And of course, there is one person that, of course, we all have to thank, because without him, none of us would be here, and that's Tim Child. So thank you very much for creating such a fantastic TV show. So thank you very much for coming along, and we'd like our Ultra VIP special people to remain behind, but other than that, thank you, and hopefully we'll see you again next year. Keep an eye on the Facebook page and website for all news relating to Nightmare. We do keep them very, very up to date, and that will be the first place that anything Nightmare related generally gets announced at, so keep your eyes out on those. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.